Ladies and gents, welcome back to Before the Races, brought to you by Motoza, the South African Renaissance, fueled by Weather Garage and empowered by Lick Me Molly, and my new insert, Prepsol, removing dirt and grime since 1964. There we go. We are here at Zone 7 in Cape Town for the 6th round of the South African National Championship, and first of all, host Ruben Lowe and Zigz Brodalka, and our guest is Neville Townsend. I'm going to try this. FIM MX Africa. FIM Africa MX Chairman.
Commission Chairman.
And MSA
it's a
MX.
mouthful of words.
MSA MX
Commission President.
Well, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking this time. And
thanks for the invite.
Yes.
I'm going to pry your brain a bit today. I've got a lot of questions.
Go for it.
Yeah.
First of all, so you are commissioning this event? Well, how have you?
No, I'm officiating at the event. Yes,
okay.
correct. I'm assisting.
Yeah. Okay. And therefore, that's why. Because let's start there. That's why Carl, your son, can't race tomorrow specifically.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. If you're an official, you cannot race.
No,
your kid cannot race.
Yeah, you need to be impartial, unbiased.
You've got to be. You've always got to be seen as impartial and fair. Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah, so where do we start? Where are we going with this? I would
why don't you start with a brand new calendar for 2025?
That's exactly where I was going. That is exactly the question I was going to ask.
Some very nice stuff there. I
like a lot of it. There's some of it that's a bit suspect. It's and you obviously know. I mean, let's just start off with it, round one.
That's fantastic, though.
Right. So the process is not as simple as what people think it is. We've got to negotiate and engage with the venue owners, the track owners, the committees, etc. First of all, we've got to get to the right figure. How many rounds for the year?
Mm-hmm.
When we were in COVID, we did 6 rounds, for example. We look at a host of factors before we actually decide. Okay, like next year, we're going to be running 8 rounds. And then, of course, once you've got your 8 rounds, you need to find what dates are suitable for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just a case of MX thumb-sucking a couple of dates. We've got to sort of mix with cross-country and enduro for various reasons. The factory teams, for example. The timing, Andre Furby does timing for the other facets as well.
Okay.
So you cannot time at both events. So we get to a point, it takes about 3 months, 4 months, where we get to a point where, okay, this is sort of where we want to be. And then we have a look at MX might need to move a date, cross country might need to move a date.
Shifting just to accommodate everyone in the
Quite correct. And once that's done, then we get the likes of Impy coming saying, well, that's we need to go that date.
Impy and all that,
Quite correct. And then we don't have the dates for the international events like the MX of Nations, the Junior Worlds. We don't have that.
Yes.
I can tell you that next year's MX of African Nations will be around about the 16th of August. That I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
where?
On the continent? Not yet. Don't know.
No, we do know, but that'll be revealed. So basically, we've gone into a process of an announcement. You know, again, it's various countries vying for hosting MX of African Nations because it's a prestigious thing.
It's a big event.
Last year it was at Zone 7. It was a huge event.
It was lovely.
It was beautiful.
No, it was good.
Really, it was amazing. And then you got all the countries that want to host. So who do you choose? And of course, once the FIM Africa Commission makes recommendations, it goes to the FIM Africa Council. So we give 2 options. Well, obviously the countries have to vie for it.
Yes.
Put in their nominations, they put in their tracks, etc. This is what they can do.
Exactly.
And then council then ultimately makes a decision based on recommendations.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Isn't Morocco coming up in any case now?
It's Morocco now, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Quite correct. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I
soon.
think that one's a bit far for me.
Yeah,
I think a
it's-
little bit far for me.
But listen, it's an awesome country. Eh?
No, it's a very cool country.
Really?
It's very
Yeah.
diverse. It's very
Yeah.
creative. The food's
Yeah.
amazing. It's a beautiful place.
I would
but
like
it's
to
just
go to Marrakesh.
No, I know for a fact. Like at the AMU last year, Zigz is like, want to go to Morocco. I'm like, Zigz, it's a bit far.
No,
Especially
definitely not
for
going to
me.
drive there with a Toyota, right?
Which one?
Uh,
Do you want to pay 70,000 rand for
No,
petrol, or do you want to pay 140 for diesel? We've got
No,
two
no.
options there.
So, first of all, Shane's track. I mean, it took a while, but I guess guys had to first. You needed to set up things and get things in order.
Yeah. You know, if you
But
look
I'm
at
really happy about that, I must say.
yeah, a lot of the provinces have got two venues on the national
Mhm.
calendar. Okay, Western Cape's only got one.
Yeah,
That's
Free
right.
State, I believe Free State's also got one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they had two
Yeah.
over the years, for example.
Okay, yeah.
And of course, Eastern Cape has only ever had Rover. Border, they did have Border runs club races
Yeah,
and
yeah,
regional races. They've never, well, in 2013 I think was the last national that was
Mhm.
there.
I know there was one at Ganubi at a state, but
That is it.
Oh,
That is
okay,
the border
okay,
track.
okay,
That
okay,
is the
okay,
border
okay,
track.
cool,
yeah.
good,
yeah.
So Border is actually the club that's hosting the event.
Yeah.
It's run under Border, but it will be at the weathered
Yeah.
venue.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
but that's cool.
But
That's
that,
cool.
I mean, you guys, I see you attend quite a bit there, sometimes these races and stuff.
Yeah,
And
we
it's-
were there
it's
not so long ago. Yeah.
It's beautiful track, beautiful
Yeah,
soil.
lovely.
It's really, really
Yeah,
neat and
I've
clean
thought-
and no tires and no mark.
That's beautiful.
If you haven't ridden at weathered until you haven't ridden a proper track yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's awesome.
I've kind of instructed Shane. So you know when you go in the grass bank, there's that almost like that ring of trees. I'm like, I'm going to put a hammock there. I'm going to sleep there for the national. If you disturb me, it's not going to go very well. No, but it's a beautiful place.
That track is awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And
I
there's, so MSA is happy with everything, space and gates and whatever.
Yeah.
water and-
Well, for that fact, we've started meeting with the committees already. They've got a joint committee between the weathered and the border
Mhm,
guys.
mhm.
We've had 2 meetings already.
Yeah.
Much like we meet with all the other venues,
Yeah.
but they wanted to start early because that December-January period
Yeah.
is generally quiet.
Yeah.
You know, businesses close,
Mm,
people
yeah,
go
sure.
on holiday.
Yeah.
So you don't want to now come back on the 15th of January and now
And
you've
have
got
a race.
now you've got to
Yeah.
arrange a national. So I'm actually very happy that they have kicked it off already,
Mhm.
and things are going well.
No,
I mean,
I
they're
think
putting
That's
their
wonderful.
officials into place already.
Yeah,
That's
I think it's going to be one of the coolest nationals of the year. Having me and Ziggs have been there ourselves,
Yeah.
and I mean we after PE a couple of times. We were
Yes.
just like, oh, let's go to Shane
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
and just go bother him a bit. And I mean,
Mhm.
he's a beautiful little character for his
Yeah.
love for the sport.
Yeah, he's got a nice setup there.
No,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's
Very
it's
cool.
very pretty. It's very
Yeah.
picturesque. We've been there, and I mean we shot flashes till it got dark.
No, it's
I mean,
lovely.
I'm stepping because I don't know what's in this bush. I don't know what's in that bush. I'm just going in the
Mm.
middle, just hoping not to get bit
Yeah.
by some some Eastern Cape creature.
And
That's right.
the last time we were there, that's a while ago. So the 50 track was at the bottom. Is that all done and sorted? And
No, the 50 track is part of the main track now.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to
Okay.
be separate.
Yes,
That's
I
more of a
remember.
development track as far as I understand now.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But the 50s will run on the main track, a section of it,
Mhm,
and the 65s will be on the main track as well.
mhm. Okay, wonderful.
That's lovely. I mean, I think if you look at the soil and just the layout of it, I think it can suit everyone. I
Yep.
mean, and it's also, it takes water well. I mean, I
Yeah.
saw this place on Monday. I saw it on Sunday and on Monday and on Saturday. This place looked like a zoo. And I mean, this winter, I mean,
You can bring a
that's,
jet ski.
I mean, yeah, it was wet.
But
I
look,
mean,
Johan does an amazing job.
No.
I've seen this track where I've been here at a national, and you arrive on the Friday afternoon,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of work still to be
Yeah.
done here.
I know, and also remember the
No,
double
man
but he's
works
been
through the
busy
night.
for the last
Jan
2
knows
weeks,
what
I
he's
must say.
doing.
No, he
I
does.
have to say, remember the double header here, even with the
Yeah.
AMU. I mean, he has to prep the track again.
No, he can do it.
No, they work well.
If anyone can do it, Johan can do
No, for sure.
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
He's got his itches and pains, but he knows
Yeah.
how to prep a track. He knows how to run a national. And I think this is always the big one for me because it's the expenses are.
Low.
Yeah.
I mean, just talking about the Maritzburg one, we ended up not going because
It's
just a lot of different reasons. And I mean, for me, I kind of like, okay, I'll do Teza. I like Teza, just like that thought when you get back.
Just
I
say
have
we
to go
drove
to
and drove and
Maritzburg,
drove and
Maritzburg.
drove and
Yeah.
drove.
Oh, it's far.
I mean, geez.
But once you get there, then you forget about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know?
No, you don't forget about it before you get there. That's a big thing because, I mean, we were, I think, 30, 40 Ks out. I'm like, my eyes are tired. Ziggs is driving. We can't see. There's no lights on that road going to Teza. And then I missed the turn off. I was
And
like,
the-
we need to turn off there. I'm like,
And I must say one thing about Durban people, they ride rougher. They hectic. I'm serious. I thought Joburg people, they just
ride you off the road.
No, I can
they
deliver.
go.
I can actually count on that because I mean, when we went past, I took a little bit of a sleep. I woke up and escort Zigz is like, "You need to go now." I'm like, okay, cool. The moment I get on the road, I'm just being pushed and shoved, and it's like,
No,
oh, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we playing bumper cars here, or are we driving cars down? Because I think it was also on the school holidays.
That's right.
So every guy in Joburg, I'm going to Scarborough to go swim. Most of them go there. I mean, no, but it was hectic. And I mean, when we got back, I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that again this year. And then I said, oh no, it's Maritzburg.
But now, like you said, so Cape Town's got one track.
Yeah.
East London's now got two.
Eastern
Eastern Cape's got 2 for next year.
And then Maritzburg and Teza, I guess, falls under
KZN.
KZN, yeah.
And Joburg is Joburg. So
There's
Legends and Terra. So so it leaves us a bit, and yes, we travel far in general, unless we get another.
And
What about
next year?
George? What about George? I'm thinking.
I
I'm
know
asking.
there is a track there.
Yes.
And it's not fully developed as far as I understand.
Yeah, I don't think it's wide enough.
No,
from what
but
I've
I mean,
seen,
is that something someone go speak to, maybe approach him, and I don't know, because that would be cool though.
I did hear from, it was Kerem, eh?
that was David.
David
Goosen, that's it, David, quite correct, sorry. And so far, we haven't been down there to have a look.
Okay.
I want to go down there. I am close enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ride and see how it flows.
Mhm.
You know.
It should be
Yeah,
cool.
just
I
get a
just think
feel,
it's a bit
because
narrow.
that could be, if doable, then we have to as well.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it reminds me a bit of Syringa for some reason.
Yeah.
It just does. I mean, it doesn't have the soil. It's similar, but I mean, it's not that red.
So the elevation.
Yeah,
Mm.
just the
That's
elevation
nice.
looks similar. Yeah.
The idea is
very
good.
nice, Yeah.
No, it looks cool, but I mean, yeah, it could be very cool. Because I mean, the more races for me on the coast is the better. Because
Yeah.
the moment I get past Lanesburg, I turn into an idiot. Because I mean, from there, you get Biltong, and after that, okay, now I've got 9 hours on the road. If it's Free State, okay, I've got 7 hours. And I mean, we've kind of made an agreement. We don't drive to Joburg. I mean,
Fly.
yeah, we fly. It's a better move. And I mean, if you look at the calendar with space this year, everything was great for me except Maritzburg. I think just knowing, okay, I just did Teza, I'm actually so drained.
Yeah.
There's not much left in the gas tank.
It's very difficult to please everybody.
No,
exactly.
You know what?
But do they have to put them together?
I can.
Could
If you look at the calendar,
This one now.
the idea I can tell you the idea for last year with Teza coming on board was, the guys are going to travel from Joburg to Teza,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
on the way back they can practice.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
Kill
true.
two birds
No.
with one stone.
That's right. That makes, and
these
people
are the-
did actually.
Yeah, these are the discussions that the commission has.
Yeah, yeah.
What are the easiest options for our
Yeah.
riders?
Yeah,
What solutions will work for the most amount of people? you know?
exactly. Yeah,
Cape Town, unfortunately,
it's wide as well. So close.
is far to everything.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, yeah.
Look, I mean, if just looking at it, I mean, Bloemfontein's 10 hours. We can do that
Yeah.
easily. PE, well, we did that this year in one gas tank and did a bit more.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's not too
No,
bad.
sure.
yeah.
Just
mean-
because we stay here, that we can't
Yeah,
really.
it's not a, it's
It
not
makes
a
it a
nice.
it makes it a bit difficult, but I
It
mean,
is
it's all
difficult.
manageable. It makes it manageable. I mean, it's not like we're going to Botswana to go
Yeah,
race. So
yeah.
if we were going there, like, okay, I'm going to take a nap for a week. That's where I'm going with this. But yeah,
So the first round is weathered
yeah.
With it, yeah.
and Feb, and then second.
I think it's
Can't remember the order.
isn't it
of-
Johannesburg?
It's
Legends, I
Don't have
believe.
it
It's
on my-
Legends. It's Legends. Quite
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
And then Cape Town.
And
I
then,
think.
it's
Rover.
Free State. Yeah. Oh yeah, Rover or the
Rover,
Free State.
yeah.
I can't remember fully. Yeah.
What's up? And the 8 rounds, I know we spoke about it, and I thought the times are tough and things, and here we're just adding rounds instead
Well,
of trying to.
we come from an era where it was actually more than that, is my
Yeah.
understanding. 8 is the magic figure,
Yeah.
apparently.
Okay.
The 1 year, well, for 2 years, it was a difficult decision. Because remember, if you take a national away from somebody, that's revenue that's gone for a
loss of
year.
money. Yeah.
And a lot of the clubs, they need that to survive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some of them run as a business, so they'll survive. But
Yeah.
but some of them definitely need
That in,
the
Almost that little
constant
bit of a
annual
push, that little
support
push,
to
yeah.
keep the sport going. You must know, if you don't have the club, you don't have the riders. You don't have
Yeah.
the riders. You don't have the
Yeah.
sport, and the
Exactly.
sport starts dying off slowly but surely.
no, sure. Would there be throwaways? What happened to that ruling? Was it with the 8?
I think that was just with the double headers.
No,
That was
no,
with
No,
the
there were no
was the-
throwaways with the double headers. We
was
haven't got to
all
that
the years.
finalisation
Okay.
yet. The SSRs are basically in framework. They're there, they're ready. We actually meet now, I think it's next week, to go through all the items that are changed. We only need to discuss those that are changing.
Yes.
We've gone through 2 rounds already, and now it's just to make sure everybody's happy, and then we send it on to Carmen for final checking.
Okay, cool. I've got one raging question.
Go for it.
One big one. Knowing we reside here with the calendar, why are we going to swim at the Cape Town National next year, the 28th of June?
Yeah, that was a
think
very
it's-
odd.
yeah.
I
Okay,
did
so
ask you
First
that.
thing I looked at, I'm like,
That's middle winter.
okay, we're going to need jet skis. We're going to need jet
Okay.
skis and hovercrafts.
Yeah.
We're going to swim.
So
So
that is definitely a point that's on the agenda.
Yeah.
So you'll see the dates are provisional.
Okay, provisional. Okay.
Well, sorry, the venues are provisional.
Okay.
There might still be a change. That's just so that people get an idea of the dates, nail the dates down.
Yeah, so it's just
Um,
dates. Look, here are the dates. It's not the
Correct.
calendars on, well, the events
the
on front.
venues,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Okay,
venues,
so it can change.
It can change. Yeah, it can.
Yeah, I just got a big fright when I saw them. Like, oh no! I was there the year Maritzburg when it snowed,
Yeah.
and where we had to cancel off the event. I still remember myself and Vota video calling Emerson Hoft and Ziggy's like, you must stop being lazy. You must go work. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's snowing.
We can't. It's snowing. We can't.
It's ice cold.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was
Look, I'm not saying it will change.
yeah.
I'm saying it can change.
Yeah.
So there's a process to follow. On the commission, I'm obviously the face of the commission. People see me a lot.
Yeah.
They see a
Yes.
lot of the work that I put out there.
You one of how many people? Sorry, I've always wondered.
Well, let's name it. So we've got Ramanda Maria here in
Okay.
Cape Town. She
Okay,
represents
yes, yeah.
Western
we
Cape.
know. Mhm.
You've got Tarquin Walker
Yeah.
in East London. He
Mhm.
represents Eastern Cape.
Okay.
You've got Leon Dero in KZN.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, it's like representatives from
From each
Clubs.
each
Quite
province.
correct. And then you've got Damien Johnson for Northern Regions.
Yeah,
He
Is
also
that
does.
Thor Johnson's dad or what?
okay.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
okay.
Yes. He's also the vice president, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. An amazing guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tell you, if it
And
wasn't for
obviously-
that man.
Okay. So the
And then
Yes.
we've got also women in sport. We've got Saran Meyer
Yeah.
that's come
Okay.
on board.
gold,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Gold's mom. Yeah.
So we've got good representation in. She also does
Yeah.
amazing work.
I believe we've got Corin Lund tomorrow at COC.
She's the COC, yeah.
Yeah.
So, when
So
you
the
see a
right
decision,
people's it sounds
Yeah.
like there's people for the sport. There we go.
quite correct. So when you see a decision coming out, it's definitely not Neville. I mean, there's been a couple of
Yeah.
decisions
Yeah.
that I have voted the other way.
Mm.
Yeah.
But as a team, when you walk away from something like that, yes, it didn't go your way,
Yeah.
but we've got to go with it.
Yes,
exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
way it works. That's the way a team works.
Well, I
It's
mean, it's
majority.
based off. There's 9 team at the end of the
Quite
day.
correct.
So it's
And we vote on literally everything.
Yeah.
Even the fact that I'm here today
Is it that?
was voted on.
Okay.
really
Yes.
okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it's
Totally transparent.
Yeah.
There's no under the table, under the
Mm-mm.
covers. There's nothing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
No, exactly. And I'm glad. Just to clarify a couple of things, because I mean,
Yeah.
people always base, this and that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't notice all the time that there's been a lot of thought, a lot of effort, a
Yeah,
lot of
sure.
time put into it.
It's easy to get upset with
Everyone
them.
thinks,
It's like,
the decision was made like this. It's good.
No, no,
That's
no.
the decision.
yeah, no, sure.
And I'm fortunate that
Well, that's interesting that you.
I've never had to use a casting vote as the chairman, as
Yeah.
the president. I've never had to use a casting vote. I vote.
Yeah.
So a casting vote is basically
Yeah.
I will have 2 votes. If there's a
Yeah,
split,
it's almost override. yeah.
So then, okay.
never had to use it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Never.
All right.
We've
So-
always had majority vote with
No,
everything.
but that's cool.
Well, that's wonderful.
Cool. No, that's nice to know at least that it's very fair.
Yeah.
And I'm back on and I'm very happy Bloemfontein is back.
Yeah.
And Teratopia, I see those boys, they're doing some nice things there.
They're doing some good work there.
Is
It's
it?
earth moving. A lot
They
of
are
earth
doing
moving.
some
Yes.
good work. Yeah.
Is it? So this is now going to be on
Yeah.
a standard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're there
American,
to support
European.
them, yeah.
No,
For
exactly.
sure.
That's good.
It's going to be cool.
I'm
That's
actually
gonna be
quite
very
excited to see this. Yeah, you guys going to obviously have to inspect it, but I'm sure that American builder is here, right?
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
his name?
cool. I don't know. I know he's part of Dream Tracks.
Dream Tracks.
Yeah, so I know it'll be good.
Yeah,
I know,
so there's
I know
proper-
they'll put work in. Oh, we've got
Yeah.
Peter Raff on the side here jiggling around.
Obviously, the track needs to get inspected.
Yes.
A lot of people have this thing about the track inspection and
Yeah.
why this and why that and why the rules. There's too many rules here and whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you look at any rule,
Yeah. It's all for rider safety at the end of the day.
It's 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Only 2 reasons. You can get the white book right now and say, Nev, what's this about?
Do they still print the white book? Because I only got one years ago. It was online.
Digital. That's all digital, yeah.
No, we're saving trees and paper now.
Nou, dit was 'n lekker dik boekie.
So every single rule, no matter which one you pull out, is for fairness, fair racing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we need to be fair
Yeah,
when we race, when that gate drops.
Exactly.
And the second one is safety.
Yeah. No,
we want to walk out here. We don't like the plus bus.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've always thought this. I didn't always know as much of the fairness, but I always knew safety is number one.
Safety,
No,
number
but
one.
this has to be.
Number
I mean,
one. I mean, a track gets inspected to make sure that there's not boulders and
Deterrents,
concrete and
anything that
things
deter the racing,
sticking out, and
Of course, yeah.
you know that it's safe to ride for our riders.
I know exactly. And I mean, I can add something on that. I think it was about 10 years ago, when Killarney's motocross reopened again. I was there shooting a regional. I mean, my paperwork's in order, everything is fine. And I mean, I'm like, I see something sticking. I'm like, ooh, I need to go call the COC. I can't let them race here. There's a piece of rebar just as long sticking. I'm like, okay, we need to get this out now.
And that's it. That's exactly that. Yeah.
And I think a lot of the media guys, we always try and help with that. So if we see something that's not there or something that's there that shouldn't be there, we try to act on it. I mean, other than that, we chase people off the track. I think.
Yeah. No, for sure. You know, the track has definitely got to be safe, and that's why there's specific regulations. The width of the jump, the face, the landing of the face.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's all for safety.
No, it's not just before almost giggles and having fun. It has to be safe. I mean,
the most fun of all is the pool noodles.
Oh,
you like
I hate those. I hate those.
I can offer you track markers. I did show you.
The pool noodles. We have old Johan every year. He wants to know about the pool noodles. But they work.
Yeah, I'm going to be very honest.
MSA
I've moved a few of those.
Aren't they ready
The pool noodles.
Yeah, when they get in the way.
No.
And when I'm done there, I put them back in.
And the real track markers, is MSA willing to spend 30k and have them cart around the country? You know, the proper bend service.
We had that. Yeah, we have had that discussion. Zigz, you know, we do need to go into that type of thing. It's the responsibility of who's going to be taking it.
Yeah.
How do we get it from track to track?
Yeah.
And I think the right thing is that each track should have their markers. You know?
Exactly.
What happens when the national's gone?
Yeah.
The guys that stay behind and do regionals and club racing after that, there should be track markers.
Yeah, exactly. So it should almost fall back over the track and it's
quite correct. Yeah, quite correct.
Which is fair.
And you know, we come from an era where, how do I put this? What does MSA make and what does the club owner make?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
That model has been totally turned around. So this isn't a money-making scheme. This is for the sport.
Yes,
exactly.
Okay.
It's definitely for the sport.
Never, I have to ask you a funny little question. Have you printed your posters for your World Championship in your backyard yet?
I know where you're going with that one.
That's where we leave it. We leave it there.
I'm hosting a World Championship in my backyard. I know what you mean.
Like I said, the Americans, the World Baseball Series, but they play against themselves.
They only played America, and apparently they got smoked by Japan.
Japan, they once went there and they were like, the Japanese stuffed them up, and they're like, okay.
Okay, we keep the World Series here.
Nah. But in any case,
no, it's nice to see where there's actually logic behind most of the decisions. It's not just, we're doing this and this and this. There's actually a lot of thought, a lot of effort that goes in.
No, for sure. One thing that I found when I came into this role as well, and maybe it's my personality, apart from like when you arrive at the track, you should know where you're going, so put signs up.
Exactly.
Stupid things, right?
yes.
And if one person asks me a question, that means they didn't know. And if they don't know, other people don't know. So it's our job to tell them, to give them the information. And that's why you get so much information. So you've got the information at your fingertips on your phone. And so the queries have gone down. I mean, it's gone down dramatically.
Well, I mean,
Because you
nice
covered all the ticking the boxes.
Well, it simplifies everything. But Zigz, we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to have a lot of time.
Let's have an ad break.
Evans waterless coolant is the solution to boiling over, so you can push your vehicle like this, and this, and this. without fearing the temperature gauge. Evans waterless coolant. Defeat the heat.
Guys, welcome back. It will help if we press record, right? From ad break and smoke break for Rubes and so.
Yeah.
So Nev, yeah, we were wondering, for interest sake, FIM, right? So in Europe, definitely in America, they use drones for add-on footage, following the racing line.
Okay.
As okay, like I said, with TV,
Part of the broadcast, yeah,
yes,
it's part of the broadcast.
Sure, we don't, but we can. It's a nice thing to have, and you can add it into our packages for 2 wheels or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was wondering why, since we're all FIM, see, they do it in Europe definitely, and in America, but yeah, somehow there's, like Ruben said,
a little bit of pushback.
Yeah. So currently in South Africa, there's no regulation to allow them in racing. There's obviously the safety aspect. You don't want anybody rocking up that's got a drone and then they're flying. And I've actually been at a race a couple of years ago where the guy, a spectator, had a drone, and he was forced to take it out,
Really? Okay.
yeah, get it out there.
Oh, I mean,
The safety of the rider. So let me put it in perspective. A guy that doesn't know what's happening in the race, he's having fun with his drone, he's taking nice footage. Something goes wrong.
he hits a rider.
And he hits a rider.
Yeah.
You cannot redo a race.
No, you
the
can't.
race is a race. It's done.
Yes.
Okay. So number one, it's the safety of the rider.
Yeah.
What happens in the race? So let's say the drone hits a rider and that puts him out. That changes the result now.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of things that need to be discussed first.
Okay.
And when we get to the point of and it's not going to be the MX Commission, it's going to be MSA itself.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not, no. It'll be MSA making those decisions.
Yeah.
To say, okay, we will allow. Okay, so what are the parameters now?
Yeah.
How far above can you fly your drone and make sure you're this distance apart.
So
Same as you guys know, you've got to be 3 meters off the track.
Yes.
Yeah, I
There
push
will
that
be-
one sometimes. I push
Yeah.
that one
Well,
sometimes, but
There
within
will
reason.
be parameters.
Yeah, and I mean, also there's another factor to it. I mean, you can't fly them near airfields.
Yeah. Airfields?
No,
quite
sure.
good.
Okay,
No,
there's, but like Rwanda, that's it.
Rwanda, yeah.
Rwanda said that you can sign, and then that's like
It's with the venue owner, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so maybe it is something you could afford, because I really enjoy watching the racing with some of the
It is awesome. It brings a whole new dimension to
exactly,
the
yeah.
actual post-processing of a race.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but we need to sort of fine tune
Have some guidelines.
Yeah.
the guidelines. We need to first find those parameters. What are the right parameters?
Yeah.
And then,
Exactly.
photographers, who will we allow?
Yeah.
Because you cannot allow everybody.
You can't.
So you
No,
need to
there's
get your
no
PIP,
ways.
you need to pay your fees, you need to
Quite
be,
correct, yeah.
like I said, is official
Yeah.
Quite correct.
media.
Yeah, and also you need to be able to trust the person operating it. That's a big thing.
Well, it's exactly that, yeah.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah, because I
mean,
guess if someone does get injured, you can't, now MSI can't just go, okay, no, we will pay out or whatever,
Yeah.
Quite good.
I
There's a
mean,
lot more involved, and as soon as you start thinking about the reality of what if this happens or what if that happens, you also don't want to over-regulate. I understand that, but you got to think of those eventualities of what's happening in the race.
Exactly, you
And
can't
something
affect the
goes
results.
wrong, you cannot affect the results.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, I've actually made a point of it of asking guys if I'm walking past, going to get something to drink. I see someone on the track who's not supposed to be there. Do you have a pass?
Get them off.
Do you have a pass? I ask them all. Do you have a pass? No. Okay. I'd hate to be rude, but you can't be here.
Yeah.
Leave. If you don't leave, I'm fetching the COC. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that.
Yeah.
You can't be here.
The drones falls into, you might see that there's no arches across a racetrack.
Yeah,
For a reason.
Yeah.
What happens if that generator loses power, or if it's not
Yeah.
a generator, if it's on power, and
Yeah.
now this arch goes down and you're across the
collapse.
track?
Yeah,
Yeah.
power surge, anything like that.
You cannot redo a race.
You can't. Yeah, because
They can't red flag it and go, okay, wait.
yeah,
done.
Exactly. Because
As
Yeah.
Okay, it is something I guess you can forward to
Yeah.
be discussed at
Yeah,
least.
no,
I
for
mean,
sure.
that's understandable. So a few years ago, when they didn't run the arch, they ran a full solid structure.
Yeah, well, that's-
because
that's
that
fine.
can't come down.
It
That's a
can't.
big thing.
No.
Safe.
Deflate, yes.
Yeah, so yeah,
And that brings me to the GoPros, because I did speak to you before, and I sent you, and I checked Tim Geyser with
Yeah.
helmet GoPros, not body or where they put it on the bikes and stuff. So so I think because I know this whole thing started because of Michael Schumacher, right?
Yeah, in a
The
sense,
crash
yeah.
on the ski
As far
thing,
as I
and,
understand.
Yeah.
and then it became an issue and now liability. But surely, because like with Voter especially, it is such cool editing material just to get the starts in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, it really adds to things. And I get one guy, let him sign. He's the guy in the 1 to 5s for the day.
Yeah.
And he rides with the GoPro.
Yeah, Zigz and I were talking. We're like,
I'm done.
We'll put the proposal.
maybe we'll put the GoPro on Kyle. That's what I was thinking. We
But
put
you,
it on
you
Kyle.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's so again, they're doing it under FIM. So
Yeah.
is it lifted?
A nominated rider.
A nominated. Well, then that's one thing. You don't have to. Everybody can have a GoPro now.
You don't
but
need everybody.
No.
So exactly what you guys are saying now, you know, the commission isn't a we make the rules, you'll abide. You've got a proposal, you've got something that needs to be changed. We've changed a few rules along the way based on proposals. I mean, there was an awesome one with the ladies class. The guy did his homework. Listen, he really put some thought, put some effort into it, and you could see exactly there wasn't any fighting, or he explained the situation. And you read through it and you can see, and you got to look at the regulation. You know, this man's right.
Okay,
makes
so
sense.
yeah,
It
so
Makes sense. This man's right. Yeah.
okay, so you guys, well, okay, well,
And then we put a proposal through to, based on that request, put a proposal through to MSA. The commission then took a vote on it. Everybody was yes.
Yeah, we have
so
to
how
do
do I type out something?
You do that, yes.
Okay, I'm very good at
that's-
typing.
Do some homework. Do some homework. Not just we want to do drones.
No, sure.
I want to fly projectile at
Yeah,
bike
there we go.
race.
I do some homework.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Do you guys have access to FIM Africa? But you can talk to the people in where are they? Switzerland or whatever.
So we
Basel,
if
I
there's
think.
anything that needs to go to, obviously the Europe FIM guys, it goes via Carmen and Jack.
Okay, no.
But odd question, where's FIM actually based? Like the big one, the big...
I think Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah,
okay.
Basel.
Gee.
Like it's somewhere to.
I should have known it was a Swiss. They're very impartial. They don't get involved too much if you look at wars. So, I mean, they're fair. It's fair. That's a big
No,
thing.
well, thanks for clearing that. There's something to look into. I think the drone and the GoPro.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it could be cool. I mean, with time. I think that's a big thing. With time, so you can figure out... What was that? I heard it was a
General
power
compressor.
washer. I think with time, everything will make sense. I mean... Because, I mean, Rome isn't built in a day.
No,
And you
quite
need
sure.
to see how to approach it, how to do it.
And we've made a lot of changes over the last few years.
It's changes that
you
I
know,
like.
You listen to the people. You take the pain away.
Yeah.
You know, when you see there's a problem, you've got to be able to identify the problem and what solution will help us.
Yeah.
Like we when we used to race back on 50s, and it was chaos at the start lines. You know,
Yeah.
the practice, the
the
lining up
No,
the
they
practice.
were more at 50s.
Guys
oh,
were
Lord.
like stacking up the hill, and you're like, it was a first come first serve basis back then, and it's like no, we were here first, and it ended up.
And then they start cutting
No,
it. Yeah.
no. So those are the small things we have to just put some structure in, guys.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to do it.
Exactly. And I think the cool thing with it is within the regulations, you can run a pretty pokey bike, like a pretty aggressive fast bike. But with those regulations, you know you're running a pokey bike.
Yeah.
If it breaks, that's your own problem.
That's your own problem, yeah.
I have a good question, I think.
Yes.
Us South Africans, when we go overseas, we struggle. Why? Because we run shorter motors. We do you know what we do? We do Loretta Lynn sprint races.
Yeah.
Actually, that style.
Yeah.
Or, Minios and all that quick in and out.
Yeah.
And then we go to Europe and America and the Oaks. Tristan even said, yes, it took him a bit of time to
adjust.
get into that longer motors, but I guess we can't do it here because then the day is too short.
Yeah.
So time is definitely a problem as well. We run a lot of classes compared to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they
No, of
run
course,
two.
yeah,
They run
they-
2 or 3 most.
2 or
Yeah.
three most, quite
Yeah.
correct. As well as, when you don't have a full gate,
Yeah.
you're basically watching grass grow.
Exactly. And another
No,
factor
no,
that
sure.
is another
Okay.
factor
No.
is they have an entire weekend. They start with free practice on the Friday.
Yeah, there's no Europe.
Hold that thought, eh?
Huh?
Hold that thought.
Oh no, what is coming?
No,
Okay. Uh-oh.
Are we leaning more to Europe or the European setup?
So
I get the
there is a
idea.
proposal on the table, and it's going to be tried at Terratopia.
Okay.
So let's see how that goes.
Okay.
That's a proposal.
I like
I'll
what
phone
you,
Glenn so long. We're
So it
going
has
to be
to
there a
be-
bit longer.
So whatever's implemented has to be beneficial for the rider, for the crew, as well as for the club.
And it also
You
has
know,
to work. That's
It's
a big
got to
thing.
work as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's got to be beneficial for everyone. I
quite
think
correct. Yeah.
I think it could be cool. I think it could be cool. I remember a couple of years ago there were 2-day nationals, and I just got scared of the idea of that.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the double headers. I came back from.
Now, in saying that, Ziggy, some people like them. It's got its advantages, and some people don't. And like I said, you cannot please everybody. And I see the problems with it. If you have an issue on Saturday morning in heat one, let's say you've damaged your foot or whatever. That's 2 races gone.
Yes, I see.
That's 2 days racing. That's 4 races down. So I do see the problem. We had to do that for those circumstances back then.
Yes.
I mean, I know with the Motocross of Nations that was a similar program.
Yeah.
But it makes your weekend very long.
Yeah. So Cape Town,
Motocross of African Nations.
Cape Town. So the idea was, how will this track hold up? That's why we ran the double header here. We had to put it through a dry run. The national was the dry run for MX South Africa.
Okay. Now it makes sense, and it went well. It went really well. I just know that pre-national got very rough.
Yeah.
Because I've got a photo of this little tainty little jump that's been changed a bit.
Yeah.
With the ruts literally going up, and the ruts are this deep.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, they have to race that. That was cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, talking alone on just how the track is built up. I mean, we were here last weekend.
Yeah,
and it was wet.
A different story.
It was wet.
Different story.
We could only start going at 9:30 because I mean there was so much just saturation. And then end of the day, the track's amazing, but it's almost like it took all of that to get to that point.
Yeah.
So
very technical, though.
Very technical.
Very
technical.
Yeah. I think it's going to be some awesome racing tomorrow.
No, 100%.
I think it's going to be a lot smoother than it was last weekend. Last weekend was, for lack of a better, it was a man's track. You were not getting past this track very quickly if you were tainty or you were almost doubting yourself. You had to hang it out. You had to hang it out. There's no middle ground. I mean, if you look at some of the riders, we've got some really good riders. I think
so.
Yeah.
A lot of them, I don't know what it'll take, just that little bit of a push, because a lot of them doubt themselves a bit. I don't know, especially with Arnie Simon. I mean, amazing rider. Technically, he's amazing.
But
I mean,
mental.
it's mental. Just that little bit of mental barrier. If we can get some of our riders just to cross that, I mean, we'll see different levels of our racing completely.
No, for sure. I fully agree.
Yeah, and I mean, the riders are good enough. That's the thing. They're good enough. I mean, just a little bit of exposure, a little bit of a push. We'll see a massive change in our racing. Because, I mean, it's there. It was there in 50s. It was there in 50s. It's there in 65s. I mean, with little Aiden Retief. I mean, he raised the bar completely.
No, for sure. No. Aiden's a phenomenal rider. Bircher, phenomenal.
Yeah, amazing.
Brody,
these guys are good, I also put out a plea to everyone that's involved with motocross. If you ever look at the 50cc gates, we need to fill those gates.
No, we have to fix that problem. Because that feeds.
That's the feeder. Let's say you got 35 riders, 50cc's on the gates. Yeah. When they move to 65, you lose a couple. Some immigrate.
But at least there's some. But out of 10, then there's 2.
I look at it like a triangle. So if your base needs to be broader than your tip.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's the biggest thing.
And the thing is, it takes you and I to put that effort in to bring the guys to the sport. That I think what a lot of guys miss out on as well when they're a little bit apprehensive to get into motocross, because yes, motorsport is dangerous. And there's no doubt about it. And I've seen mommies meltdowns.
I've seen some I've seen some Zillas as well. I mean, I think it was PE 2 years ago. There was a certain mother. The kid fell over, picks the bike up, she hits him in the back of the head, keep going.
Mummies can nogal.
I've seen a few rough ones.
And it's a case of, I see with my own kid as well, the relationship the parents, the father has with the kid, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. You dad, you coach, you mechanic, you everything.
Yeah, you're his personal trainer, you're his psychologist, you're everything.
You're everything. Yeah. And you spend so much time with that kid.
You figure him out.
It's amazing. I tell you, I wouldn't swap it.
And I just spoke to Chantal Frost, no?
Yeah, Chantal Frost. Yeah.
For this, the way she spoke about it, it is their family sport.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. They love it.
There's something I just personally feel about this sport. I've said it on the pilot as well. Your parents can't do this sport for you. You have to do it yourself. Yeah. Getting the bike there, getting it ready, everything. If you don't want to do this, you're not going to do well. You have to do it for yourself. And what I've noticed in a lot of riders, it makes them better people.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to work hard. You need to learn how to be dedicated.
Yeah. It brings out that confidence in the child. I remember my kid. He was what, 9 years old, 10 years
Yeah.
old, having conversations with 40-year-old,
Yes.
50-year-old people. And I remember when I was 9, you know, it
You
was
don't
just a
talk-
hello, you know.
No, I
Yeah.
was just stuck in
No,
church.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
The common,
But they're having adult conversations about
Yeah.
the motorcycle, you know, how the bike feels and the suspension setup, and they're talking the lingo.
Exactly.
No, it actually matures you a bit.
Yeah.
I think it teaches them how to talk to people as well.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, because you quickly learn. I mean, we know motocross riders are a bit abrasive. So you learn what is sociably acceptable and all of that within the sport as well.
Yeah.
You do.
And this track, motocross, and I've told my kid this as well, this is life.
Yeah, yeah.
Life is going to knock you down.
Yeah.
It got ups.
You decide if you get up. You
Exactly.
decide.
Exactly.
I actually
You're
think
gonna-
like you
You're going to
100%.
be hard. You're going to be down hard.
No, exactly.
It's for you to get up and finish.
And
And you finish what you started, huh?
And that's
in life,
very
you finish
truthful.
what you started.
Very, very.
And I've got a very big thing to reference from that. I'm sorry, we're going to have to dig in the archives again for this one.
Well,
So, I
Okay.
remember last year, Velkom. That rut. That
Yo,
rut.
took me in.
yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
rut.
yeah, right. I took the
You were
photo.
standing
reviewed
there,
it.
I'm standing next to you. I'm like, yeah, this is not good. So, if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
And you must remember that the corner was
Yeah, the
moved
corner.
in. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that
Yeah,
the
yeah.
back was
Yeah.
obviously worse.
But the biggest
Not
catch
viable,
was
yeah.
that corner's there. You need to get that thing 3 meters forward. That's where the line
Yeah.
is.
and yeah, that was
And I
a,
remember Arnu getting off that bike, and that bike is just
It
mud.
just sunk. Eh?
And the fact that those bikes did not blow up.
no, but they did.
Was,
No,
a
there
lot
were
of
few-
them blew up.
Ronaldo's bike blew up.
Yeah. But I
There's a
mean,
couple of bikes that broke.
and within the rules, you need to get that bike over the line in your own power. That is the great impending doom. Okay, this thing weighs double. But now you need to get across there.
I
If it
remember I
doesn't start, it
couldn't-
doesn't start.
Yeah, I couldn't pick a 1 to 5 up. What track was it? I think it was
Um,
it was
it was
Maritzburg. Maritzburg. It was so caked with mud. The one race a few
Really?
years ago. I couldn't
Really?
pick the 1 to 5. I
Oh,
had to
was
get
it?
help.
Oh, yeah. It was when it snowed. Yeah.
I had to get help to put it up.
Yeah, then they cancelled the second
Second
one.
one, yeah,
It was
yeah.
just too much.
Yeah, that was rough. I think
Yeah.
out of just general roughness, I think that was the roughest motocross national I've ever had to do.
So, once again, safety comes
Yeah.
into play. You know, you got to make that call on what is safe for the riders, to what degree, and that's why you got a safety officer.
Exactly.
You got people, you got club stewards, you got MSA stewards that make a decision. Yes, we are dealing with the top echelon of the sport.
Yeah.
You know, these are not your start-out riders. These guys can ride.
Yeah,
Mm.
They can handle a bike.
Yeah.
So, at what stage, at what point has it now become unsafe?
Exactly.
And that's when you make the call.
And that's a big thing. I mean, because you always see, okay, that looks a bit rough. That looks a bit this that.
Yeah.
But there are parameters within it to kind of stop it from being like that.
Yeah.
I mean exactly that jump over there.
Yeah.
The little hole there.
No, but they filled it up.
Yep, they had to fill it up. I mean,
Yeah.
because if you're not
so
jumping, that's-
we're not big on doubles. Well,
You can have one double, eh?
you can.
Yeah,
On
you
this
can
track.
have one double
Mm.
on your.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's not too big.
Is that a double?
No, they're
It's
full.
not a double, man.
It's not a double.
No, they fold it up
but
though.
it had a little bit of a cavity. It was like an unhappy tooth. It had a little bit of a cavity.
Because it's
Yeah,
an angled jump
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
No,
But,
but I must say, I mean, this track is really the way Johannes turned it around with those winter we've had. It's looking really
Do you
good.
remember? But maybe you guys went. This was in 2000s. There was one Cape Town National they cancelled because there was no water. It was a drought.
Oh, that was 20. That was the
10
year
or-
Caleb. No, there was another one in Caleb. When Caleb won, they
And they
moved the
just,
national. Yeah.
just everybody's ears like, thanks for coming. Now you can go.
I remember that, yeah. It
Yes.
was not like 2018 or 19.
No,
No,
they
this-
moved the date. They postponed the event because there was no water. I think it was 2018,
In
2017.
a drought, yeah.
Yeah,
It
in the
was
drought.
18-ish, yeah.
It's either the year Caleb won both or the year before. I can't fully
Okay.
recall, but I do know. I do know another one. I've heard stories of a water truck breaking down in the Eastern
Ooh,
Cape on a
Kanubi.
track. The water truck.
Kanubi, remember? Okay, well, this I'm
No,
talking
that was just that was
20,
before my time.
11. The one truck broke in a turn. They can fetch the other one. Now that thing breaks on the track. So it's like and the Oaks were like up in arms, like Michael Cock and all this. Now everyone was like, we come so far, and it's like, but we can't get the trucks out.
Yeah.
It's just
We
stuck
can't
there.
race.
That was crazy.
Before my time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm looking at the time, but I'd really like to ask one more question from you. How do you get chosen for the Motocross Destinations team? Because it seems like
That's a very good question. So over the years, the selection criteria has evolved slightly. Even when we went to Kenya, there was a selection criteria, as well as this whole SA colours to Protea colours, etc. So the selection criteria for MX of African Nations hasn't changed much, but we did see there was a bit of a problem with MX of Nations.
okay.
So, and as well as now the MX3 class for MX of African Nations. So, you identify the problem and say, how do we solve it? You want to have your best riders there.
Of course.
So, we spoke a bit, who are the candidates that we would like to look at, whilst looking at our own pool as well.
So not everybody just overseas. So you want to take a local top.
Yeah, preferably local first.
Yeah.
Who is in the top 3. And then obviously you look who's performing well overseas. And of course there's other criteria as well that you need. You've got to tick the boxes, of course. Yeah. That's one of the main things. The guys don't read the rules. They don't read the regulation. And Mondays are my favourite, by the way.
Is it?
Monday,
the emails come.
Monday, whether it's a club race or a regional, or then you'll get a photo or get a video.
Oh, really?
Why does MSA allow this, or is this allowed? And you're like, well, did you protest, or did you,
Did you read your rule book? Did you read your white book? On your phone?
Yeah. But it's all part of learning, and I don't mind that. So you'll notice it has slowed down a hell of a lot. So when you see the pit boards, another innovation of the commission.
No, it works. That's a big thing.
It works. We give you the information.
I mean, you don't have to doubt much if it's all there. I mean,
it's pit boards. I mean,
it'll be on the Telegram group.
On the Telegram group,
yes. That's good.
We're on 91 now.
91. Yeesh, it's getting there.
91 pit boards, out there. So
it works.
It's just giving the guys information so that
that's good.
They understand the rule in layman's terms. Because a lot of times, when you give a guy a booklet like this and he's got to read the rules,
it's confusing.
I'll read it later. And then they never read it.
What do they want to do? They actually just want to race.
Bracket B goes to bracket A, but in case bracket C, it becomes very
exactly like that.
Sorry.
What are the guys? The kids just want to race, and the dad just wants to be there having a good race with his kid and a good time. The rules don't seem to be important until they need them. Until they need them, and then the questions are, but is this or whatever. But that's why we're trying to update and upskill, upskill and educate.
But it's working. That's a big thing.
It's working. Definitely working. There was an awesome innovation that definitely worked, which has actually gone over to cross country now, by the way.
Really? So it's feeding. There you go. There you go. If it's feeding, it's feeding.
It's working.
Awesome.
We don't mind the guys asking questions.
Yes.
We will help. We will guide you. On a race day, however.
Oh, you're busy. I mean, it's not the time to have big discussions.
So being in the role that I am. And the officials on a race day, you have to follow the process. So, for example, tomorrow in the role that I'm going to be, you can't come to me and say, Nev, that rider over there, he cut the track or whatever. That's not my job. That's not my job. I'm not allowed to get involved with it. I can't say anything to you. I can't even say, well, SSR 237 or I can't. You need to know at least the basics of what to do. So go to your race secretary. You're unhappy, do your protest, etc.
Exactly.
Not that I'm promoting protesting. I can tell you that.
No. Listen, remember that year in PE with the containers? Lloyd, I think it was Lloyd, right? And was Ledwar, but there's
a whole group
60,
of
85,
65s. It was
Nicky Smith. There was a whole bunch of people. A whole bunch of, and then, but the woman. And I'm like standing there. Die mense pak net geld uit. And I'm like, okay. Is they serious about this? Something about jumping on the yellow flag at the back. Remember?
Yes.
And then the TV truck was there, and it was made it worse because now everybody's inside there by Maloney, no?
Yeah.
Now they're checking. Rewind. We want to check who jumped what. In any case. So now the woman wants to take Lloyd into the container. And Lloyd, I was like, whoa, this is hectic. Really?
And you know what solved the problem?
What?
You're going to laugh.
What?
The pool noodle.
The pool noodle.
Really?
Since the pool noodle has been introduced.
Oh, Lord.
The pool noodle.
So
since the pool noodle is in the regulation, right?
Yeah.
Guess how many yellow flag infringements we've had? And I'm going back, I was 21, so we're going on 3-4 years now.
With the pool noodle.
Pool noodles. Guess how many? 1. Come, guess how many? Take a guess.
2.
1.
What?
Really?
And it was in Bloemfontein.
Yeah.
We've had 1 yellow flag infringement
Oh,
ever since then.
A pool noodle.
That's
That
it.
is-
This I hate that stuff actually. But okay.
Yeah. So that's how basic and elementary the solution can be.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to. So, and the process that we followed was to find out from the riders. You tell me when that yellow flag's up and the rule is don't jump.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you? Tell me what it means.
Yeah, exactly.
And pretty much all of them said, "Well, I didn't jump the jump." Yeah, but how far did you jump? No, but I didn't jump the jump. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, there's a
You
great
see where I'm
area.
going with this?
Yeah.
I didn't clear it, but they don't understand.
You must
Yeah.
roll.
Wheels on the ground.
When that yellow flag is up, you got to be able to stop.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's danger.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, since then we've only had 1, which is
Jeez.
please and not tomorrow.
I must go buy one and I put the photo on so people can see, especially for the overseas people.
Yeah.
Pool noodles.
So all it's really done is it's given a measure.
Yeah.
Before, they used to say the regulation was don't jump. So how far is don't jump?
Yeah.
Is it 1 meter? Is it 30
Yeah.
centimeters? Is it 3 meters?
Yeah.
And that's where we had to obviously agree. What is fair at a reasonable
Yeah.
speed? You've slowed down, you've decelerated, you've seen the flag, you've decelerated, and now you take the little jump. So what is that distance?
Yeah.
And that's where the 3 meter mark
Okay, there you
comes
go.
from.
But Nev, thank you so much.
It's a
This
pleasure.
was great.
This was really.
I
I hope
learned a
I've
lot.
clarified stuff for you.
Yeah, no, you
Oh,
did.
yeah.
No,
We've learned a lot now.
No,
no,
that's
for
good.
sure.
That's
I
good.
definitely must get used to the pool noodle thing. But thank
All
you
right.
for coming.
It's a
and
pleasure, man.
well, you
Thanks,
got your
guys.
hands full tomorrow.
Let's have
So,
some fun tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
but that was good. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Cheers. Bye.
Ciao.
Cheers.
Water. For 100 years, we've used water mixed with conventional antifreeze to cool engines because nothing transfers heat better. But water's limitations present multiple challenges. For starters, water's low boiling point can lead to steam generation and an overheated engine, is the root cause of corrosion in your engine, and supports electrolysis, where water acts like a conductor, allowing an electrochemical charge between dissimilar metals that can degrade your radiator over time. For decades, drivers and auto enthusiasts have searched for ways to overcome these age-old issues, but until now, there hasn't been a viable solution. Enter Evans waterless coolant. While most coolants today contain 50% water, Evans doesn't use it at all. Evans features a revolutionary water-free formula that prevents corrosion and doesn't support electrolysis, meaning it won't eat away at engine metals. The biggest difference, though, is Evans' boiling point, 375 degrees, which is far higher than water's at 212 degrees and regular coolants at 235. Unlike water-based coolants, this means Evans won't form vapor in your engine. Why is that important? Because vapor pockets forming between liquid coolant and metal components create a barrier that prevents heat from being drawn away from the engine, which is a coolant's job in the first place. Water conducts heat extremely well as long as it remains a liquid. But quickly and without notice, vaporization takes away nearly all of water's capacity to transfer heat. With vapor existing between engine metals and liquid coolant, hotspots develop in the metal. Pressure builds, the coolant begins to boil, and the engine overheats. When engines overheat, people are stranded on the side of the road, get stuck out in the woods, and lose races. Overheating can ruin not only your day, but under the surface, ruin your engine. Evans is safer and more stable than traditional coolants because it prevents the high pressure levels that lead to boilovers and volcanic radiator eruptions, meaning hoses, seals, and gaskets are less likely to leak and will last longer. From cars to trucks to motorcycles, Evans is an enabler. It allows safe, consistent, and efficient operation in temperature ranges that are simply unreachable with water. Evans handles extreme conditions that put stress on your engine, such as high heat, heavy loads, or blockages that disrupt airflow to the radiator. With Evans, your operating ceiling is raised. Evans does its job well past the point where other coolants fail, even in situations where performance isn't your main objective, such as with classic or vintage cars. Evans helps preserve the engine by eliminating the long-term corrosive effects of water, which is exactly why collectors and museums use Evans to protect their investments. What all this adds up to is the safest, most efficient, and most reliable coolant available. Whether idling in traffic, off-roading, or racing, drivers and riders finally have a solution to the problem water presents. Evans waterless coolant provides permanent protection, reduced maintenance, and enhanced performance, even under the most extreme conditions. Learn more and find out where you can get yours at www.evanscoolant.com.